Well, this is the new Nissan Magnite. The starting price of this car is just a shade under 6 lakh rupees, which means it's even cheaper than the Maruti Suzuki Swift by about 50,000 rupees. So the big question is, should you prefer to buy a compact SUV or should you prefer to buy the tried and tested hatchback? But we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Over here, let's talk about the front end first, because the grille now is completely new, the bumper also is completely new, and of course the headlamp design has been slightly modified. But that said, it does still look like the Magnite from a distance because the overall silhouette remains the same. What do you think of this new color, and what do you think is its name? You can let me in the comment section below, and do let me know which one do you prefer. Do you prefer the Swift or do you prefer the Magnite for roughly the same price? Today we'll tell you about the interiors, the driving bits, and then give you a summary report whether you should buy the Magnite or consider buying something else. My name is Ashish Masih. If you come to this channel for the first time, please subscribe to it and do let me know what you think of this car and this color. Let's get started with the Magnite on this channel. Well, so let me quickly show you the interiors of the new Nissan Magnite. Now, in terms of the design, in terms of the architecture, it's exactly the same, but the big addition is, of course, the addition of this leatherette over here. Now, is it brown, is it orange, is it rust? You can let me know, because when you see it in pictures, it looks a little different. When you see it in real life, it looks a little different. And of course, if you see it in the showroom lighting, it will look a little different, but it looks very premium, it looks very upmarket, and just in general, it is quite a good interior. Now, what you'll also appreciate, of course, is the rich list of features. You get wireless charging, you get climate control, you get this big touchscreen which also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course you can connect it wirelessly, which is great because a lot of other cars which are in this segment, some of them don't have the option of wireless connection. You also get cruise control on this particular version, and of course controls for the stereo infotainment stuff is over here on the steering wheel, and of course you get plenty of place over here to keep your odds and ends. Big tray over here where you can keep your cell phone, wallet, and of course a couple of big beverage holders. And finally, the armrest over here opens up and you can keep a lot of stuff in it. It's a nice and deep armrest. You also get big cup holders in the door bins. In general, the fit and finish is good. The perceived quality levels are quite good. You also get lots of space. The seat comfort is generally good. And of course, the new seat design, the leatherette on the seats looks really fancy. And of course, the stitching also makes the car's ambience go up a notch than the previous version. The car, I think that people who will spend money on this car will be quite happy with it because it gets good features, good comfort, and lots of space. And the overall quality also is better than the outgoing car. I'll give the interior of this car a strong score of 4.5 out of 5. Let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, I'm in the back seat of the Nissan Magnite, and if you're somebody who wants a car which is chauffeur driven, you want to be in the back seat all day long, then forget all its other rivals. Forget the Tata Punch, forget the upcoming Skoda Kayak, forget even the Brezza and the next one, because this car really has lots of space in the back. Knee room is quite good. Headroom also generally is very good, and of course the front seat also has been raised up so you can stretch your feet. It's quite a wide cut at the back. There's a bit of a lump in the floor panel, but it's not too much. It's a very small one, so you can easily accommodate 3 people over here. And the seat comfort generally is good. Nice 90-degree angle for the knee and hip. AC vents, Type-C charging point, and of course lots of place to keep your odds and ends. And of course big and large windows, which means the cabin feels really nice, bright and airy. I don't know how Nissan has done it, but they really maximized the space inside the cabin. They've really done a good job with the space management. You also get this armrest, and of course you can keep a couple of beverages here, place to keep your cell phone or any other thing. And the only thing missing is that there's no headrest for the central passenger, but apart from that, it really is a very good place for people who are chauffeur driven. My height for reference is 5'10", in case you've forgotten, so in case you want some kind of reference for that, headroom and knee room is generally good in the front seat. Even if you have a chauffeur who's 5'10", you'll have plenty of place in the back. I think it's one of the best cars in the compact SUV space for sheer comfort, sheer roominess, as well as good value. I'll give it a good score of 4.6 out of 5. Well, let me quickly show you the boot of the Nissan Magnite. Now, it's a nice and square boot. It's a deep boot. There is a bit of a loading sill, but it's not too much. So overall, I think you can forget that loading sill because it's a nice and spacious boot. And this, remember, Nissan has managed, despite offering you very good space in the second row. Yes, it's a very spacious car. How has Nissan managed to carve out so much space from a car which is under 4 meters in length? Really, the engineers can tell you the secret, but really full marks to Nissan and their engineering team for giving you such a nice and spacious boot without compromising on the rear seat comfort. I'll give the boot a strong score of 5 out of 5. Now, enough of the interiors, let's get started with the driving bits. Well, so here I am driving the new Nissan Magnite now. Now, in terms of the mechanicals, this car is identical to the old car, So you get the same engine options, the same gearbox options, you get the same manual, and of course the manual and the CVT are reserved for the turbo engine. The AMT is reserved only for the non-turbo, but if you really want the best combination, then go for the CVT along with the automatic gearbox. That's something which is quite good, and you'll definitely enjoy the driving experience. Now, what I really like about this car is, of course, the light controls. Yes, the steering wheel is nice and light if you choose the manual. Then the gearbox is light, the clutch action is light, and of course the CVT is a completely hassle-free car to drive. It's really a very hassle-free car. You'll enjoy the driving experience, you'll enjoy the ride experience as well, and the ride comfort is so good that at faster speeds, if you see those broken patches of road, you don't have to slow it down. A lot of cars you have to slow down as soon as you see those bad patches, and sometimes you also feel a little scared that I might hit that bad gadda and it might affect the suspension, but not in the case with the Nissan Magnite, because it just flies over them and doesn't bother in the least. So that's something which is quite good about this compact SUV. In fact, it doesn't ride like a compact SUV. A lot of compact SUVs have very hard and stiff suspension setups, but not this one. This one has a nice and easygoing suspension setup, which makes it quite a good car to drive, both in the city and for highway use as well. What you will also appreciate about this car is, of course, the fact that the visibility is generally quite good all across. The front visibility is good, side view mirrors are nice, and the new mirror over here also gives you nice visibility at the back. So in terms of people who are driving for the first time, who have just learned to drive, it is good car. Performance, well, it's pretty much the same like it was on the earlier version. It's a nice and peppy engine. Of course, it's not really the best car, the keenest drivers of drive car. Of course, it's not really the keenest of keen cars in terms of the overall driving bits, but that said, it isn't bad. It doesn't feel boring at all, and overall you'll enjoy the overall driving experience as well. So what is my final summary report with the Nissan Magnite? Well, I have to say that this is a very impressive package. It's good to sit in, it's good to drive, it's good in terms of the features, and it doesn't cost a bomb. And what I'm really trying to say is that if you're in the market for a compact SUV and you don't really want to stretch your budget too much, then this is a very capable machine. Don't just buy it because of the price, also buy it because of its own merits. And as I said, it is quite capable. I'll give it a good score of 4.6 out of 5. Do check it out at a Nissan dealership near you. Thanks guys so much for watching this video, and if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so now. We'll see you soon in another video, maybe next week or maybe tomorrow.